Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Nrsingadev 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 Jaya Nrsingadev Jaya Panchatata 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 Jaya Panchatata Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki Gaur Premanande. Readings from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 16, How Parīkṣit Received the Age of Kali. Today, we will see text 3. Before getting into the text, let us chant the auspicious invocation prayers. I will chant, please try to repeat. Nigamakalpataror galitam phalam Sukamukatamrita dravasamyutam Pibata Bhagavatam rasamalayam Muhuragho rasika bhuvibhavakaha Narayanam namaskritya Naranchaiva narottamam Devim bhagavatim vyasam Tato jayam mudirayet Nashtaprayesha badreshu Nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavatyuttama shloke Bhaktir bhavati naishtiki Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya ājahārāśva-medhāṁs trīn ājahārāśva-medhāṁs trīn gaṅgāyāṁ bhūri-dakṣiṇān śāradvatam gurum kṛtvā śāradvatam gurum kṛtvā devā yatrākṣi-gocarāḥ ājahārāśva-medhāṁs trīn gaṅgāyāṁ bhūri-dakṣiṇān śāradvatam gurum kṛtvā devā yatrākṣi-gocarāḥ ājahārāśva-medhāṁs trīn gaṅgāyāṁ bhūri-dakṣiṇān śāradvatam gurum kṛtvā devā yatrākṣi-gocarāḥ ājahārāśva-medhāṁs trīn gaṅgāyāṁ bhūri-dakṣiṇān śāradvatam gurum kṛtvā devā yatrākṣi-gocarāḥ ājahārāśva-medhāṁs trīn gaṅgāyāṁ bhūri-dakṣiṇān śāradvatam gurum kṛtvā devā yatrākṣi-gocarāḥ. Matajis. ājahārāśva-medhāṁs trīn gaṅgāyāṁ bhūri-dakṣiṇān śāradvatam gurum kṛtvā devā yatrākṣi-gocarāḥ. Ājahāra performed aśva-medhān heart sacrifices, trīn three, gaṅgāyāṁ the bank of Ganges, bhūri sufficiently, dakṣiṇān rewards, śāradvatam unto Kṛpācārya, gurum spiritual master, kṛtvā having selected, devāḥ the demigods, yatra wherein, akṣi eyes, gocarāḥ within the purview. Translation and purport by his founder Acharya, His Divine Grace Abhay Charananda Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, translation, please repeat. Mahārāja Parīkṣit, after having selected Kṛpācārya for guidance as his spiritual master, performed 3 horse sacrifices on the banks of Ganges. These were executed with sufficient rewards for the attendants, and at these sacrifices, even the common man could see demigods. Purport. It appears from this verse that interplanetary travel by the denizens of higher planets is easy. In many statements in Bhagavatam, we have observed that the demigods from the heaven used to visit earth to attend sacrifices performed by influential kings and emperors. Herein also, we find that during the time of the horse sacrifice ceremony of Mahārāja Parīkṣit, the demigods from other planets were visible even to the common man due to the sacrificial ceremony. The demigods are not generally visible to the common men, as the Lord is not visible. But as the Lord, by his costless mercy, descends to be visible to the common man, similarly, the demigods also become visible to the common man by their own grace. Although celestial beings are not visible to the naked eyes of the inhabitants of this earth, it is due to the influence of Mahārāja Parīkṣit that the demigods also agreed to be visible. The king used to spend lavishly during such sacrifices as a cloud distributes rain. A cloud is nothing but another form of water, or in other words, the water of the earth transforms into clouds. Similarly, the charity made by the kings in such sacrifices or but another form of taxes collected from the citizens. But as the rainfall falls down very lavishly and appears to be more than necessary, the charity made by the kings also seem to be more than what the citizens needs. Satisfied citizens will never organize agitation against the king, and thus there was no need in changing the monarchical state. Even for a king like Mahārāja Parīkṣit, there was a need of a spiritual master for guidance. Without guidance, one cannot make progress in spiritual life. The spiritual master must be bona fide, and one who wants to have self-realization must approach and take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master to achieve real success. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnānatimirandasya Jnānanjana Shalakaya Chakshurinmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Aham Shri Gurun Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakhagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parajana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sakhagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namavam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschaitya Deshatarine is not so difficult. Like in Kali Yuga, everything has to be organized by heavily mechanical means. through the agency of the five elements. What was possible in previous yugas simply by the power of mind, in Kali Yuga, we don't know how to utilize the power of mind. We have lost that science of utilizing the power of mind. So everything we try to find or we try to do by gross means, subtle means, how to do it, we have lost that science. Yoga is the science by which everything can be done by subtle means. In Kali Yuga, yoga is reduced to a joke. People think that we have to do yoga for keeping good health. It's a big misconception. Prabhupada consistently criticizes this point that people are thinking yoga is meant for good health. Oh, you do some yoga exercise. Why? Because you have to maintain some health, or you have to remove some disease, or you have to lose some weight. Yoga is meant for this. No, yoga is not meant for this. Yoga is meant for meditating on the Supreme Lord. That is the purpose of yoga. Good health is not the purpose of yoga. Of course, if you do some asana, then you can get some good health. That's okay. But that is not the philosophy of yoga. The philosophy of yoga is that one should meditate on the Paramatma. They explained in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. But anyway, by getting the mystic powers, Ashtamaha Siddhi, one can achieve various fantastic things simply by the power of concentrated mind. They can go to different planets, they can bring things from different planets sitting in the same place. So many things they can do. They can become heavier than the heaviest, lighter than the lightest. So many different things are possible, fantastic things are possible. But in Kali Yuga, those things are being achieved by mechanical means. Mechanical means. Prabhupada says in the purport to in the first canto, in the first chapter, first sloka purport, Prabhupada says that because science is achieving what previously yoga used to achieve, yogic powers used to achieve, now science is achieving. So people are thinking, oh, we don't need God. Why do we need God? We can sit in a rocket and we can go to Mars. We don't need God. We can sit in a submarine, we can go down. We don't need God. Why do we need God? But we don't need God to go to other planet, or we don't need God to go down to the deep sea. We need God for a different purpose. That's why Bhagavatam says that anyone who thinks that God is needed in order to rotate between the 14 planetary system, he is being cheated. He is being cheated. God is not needed to rotate between the 14 planetary system. We need God to get out of this rotation of this 14 planetary system. And the system of getting out of that rotation is called a sacrifice. That is a system. It's called a sacrifice. So Parīkṣit Maharaj, he was doing various sacrifices, and in those sacrifices, the demigods were pleased. And instead of him going to different planets, they all visited him. They came to him, and they came and saw him. And according to his request, they also became visible to common people. He was so powerful that his influence was so great that demigods who are not normally visible to common people, they became visible to him. So this is the power of a good king. And he that owner of that factory, he used to come to Dubai, and we used to talk to him. So he said that we have a factory in Mexico. We cannot run it anymore. We are closing this factory. And then we need to retrain all the people. I said, why you need to retrain them? You close, they will find some other job. They said, no, we need to retrain them. I asked why? Because he said that in that factory, there are many people who are working for 10 years, 20 years, fixing only one bolt in the machine. So morning to evening, he will come, he will stand in one place, he'll fix only one bolt in the machine. 8 hours fixing one bolt in the machine. His whole life is only fixing one bolt. That's it. That's what he knows. What do you know? I know how to fix one bolt in the machine. This is factory. It makes a machine out of man. So that's why Prabhupada is saying the another name of factory is hell. Another name of factory is hell. In our Purport, 4th canto, Prabhupada says, another name of factory is hell. So that is not the engagement. That is not the way to engage. The engagement is that everybody should be engaged in such a way that their engagement gives them spiritual progress. That is the duty of the king. Like now, ISKCON is building huge temple, the temple of Vedic Planetarium in Mayapur, and also many temples in many places. This should be the engagement. This should be the engagement. Ideally, we should all be working there. Ideally, we should all be working there, doing various things, various services in the temple. This is the engagement. The engagement which causes purification and spiritual progress. That should be the nature of engagement. In Bhagavatam, it is said that atapumbir dvijashreshta varnashrama vibhagashaha swanishtitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. That whatever engagement we engage ourselves in, it should please the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, what is the use? Shrama eva hi kevalam. It is just waste of time. We may do so many things, fantastic things. Like the company which I was working in Dubai, they did the tallest tower in the whole world. It's called Burj Khalifa. Tallest tower in the whole world. Till today, it is the tallest tower. Somebody else wanted to build a taller tower, but somehow COVID came. So they are not able to build it. But they will build. Somebody else will build. That will not be tallest tower anymore. After some time, somebody will build. And while building the tower, all engineers are talking about one important problem. What is the problem? What is the problem? The problem is from the 125th floor, on the topmost floor, there is one toilet. In the toilet, someone will pass stool. That stool has to come to ground floor. How to bring the stool to ground floor? Big problem. Because that stool will gain so much velocity while falling down. If it falls down freely, that it will break the pipe, it will break the joint, it will do everything. And engineers are working on it. This is the engagement we have in Kali Yuga. This is Kali Yuga engagement. Very dangerous engagement. First of all, complicate the life so much that you have to go so high to pass stool. Then have science to bring it down. That's not engagement. Hellish engagement. Hellish engagement. Hellish engagement. And we are not even aware. We are thinking, oh, we did good job. Oh. Then there is one place in that Burj Khalifa. You have to pay some $100 or something to go on the lift and stand and see from there. There's a viewing deck. You can stand and see from there. What can you see? Full of sand. Only desert. All four sides you can see desert. That's what you can see. And in order to see that, you have to pay some money and go in the lift. This is the kind of engagement. But the real engagement is to engage in yajna. In yajna. That is the real engagement. That we should engage ourselves in the process of sacrifice. Krishna explains in 3rd chapter Bhagavad Gita, Annāt bhavanti bhutani, parjanyāt anna sambhavaha, yagyāt bhavati parjanyo, yagya karma samudbhavam, karma brahmodbhavam viddhi, brahmakṣara samudbhavam, tasmāt sarvagatam brahma, nitya yagye pratishthitam. Cycle of sacrifice. Very nicely he explains that we should be engaged in this cycle of sacrifice. And the duty of the government is to engage the citizens in this act of sacrifice. That's the duty of the government. Government is meant for that. When Prithvi Maharaj, he took power, all the citizens came to him because before Prithvi Maharaj, there was a lot of problem. His father, Vena, he was a very terrible king. He caused so much problem. And before Vena, there was even more problem because there was no king. So all the thieves and all the unscrupulous people, they were harassing the citizens. So then they needed a king. So, but they were very afraid that Vena is very cruel. Very afraid. Oh, if you make him king, it will be a problem. But anyway, no king is also a problem. So they said, okay, Vena, let us make him king. They made him king. And then it became even more terrible. Because instead of one dacoit or 100 dacoits, the king itself was a big dacoit. Nobody could tolerate him. Nobody could tolerate him. Then the sages, they became very angry and they actually cursed him and they killed him. But that did not solve the problem, because again the thieves and the dacoits, they became very active. There is no king. So people lost their engagement. They were all hungry. They did not have any food. And then the sages, they actually manifested Prithvi Maharaj and Arshi Maharani by churning the body of Vena. Prithvi Maharaj is an incarnation of the Lord. He is called Adiraja, the original king. And the moment he came out, then all the citizens went to him and then they told him, please engage us. We are hungry. We don't have food. We are suffering. Please give us engagement. And what was the engagement? The engagement was engaging the people according to their varna and ashrama. That was the engagement. He gave them engagement according to their varna and ashrama. And they told them that, that he gave them enough engagement. By doing this kind of things, huge sacrifices, he conducted 99 sacrifices. He wanted to conduct 100, but he was stopped. Brahma stopped him. He said, no need. He also agreed, no problem. But the purpose of conducting sacrifices is to engage people. The purpose of constructing temples, conducting huge sacrifices, is that people can be engaged, because in order to conduct one sacrifice, huge pandals have to be made, big sacrificial arena has to be made, so many arrangements for people to stay, to eat, to so many paraphernalia for the sacrifice is required. So all those paraphernalia has to be produced. It's a huge engagement. It's huge engagement. Same way building temples, it's a huge engagement. Artisans are engaged because different art forms have to be shown in the temple. Masons, carpenters, blacksmith, designers, engineers, architects, so many people have to be engaged. But this is positive engagement. Positive engagement. So the engagement should be like this. The engagement should be in the process of yajna. But unfortunately in Kali Yuga, we don't have, all of us don't have that opportunity. So therefore, in Kali Yuga, there is no big fire yajna, hardly any temples are built. We are building little temple here, little temple there, this big temple, another big temple. But overall, if you see the quantum of construction which is happening in the whole world, number of factories being built in proportion to number of temples being built, insignificant in terms of proportion, factories to temples. So many big factories are built. but not so many big temples are built. So, anyway, in Kali Yuga, everyone is engaged not in appropriate karma, most of them, 99%. So then, the only way we can purify our engagement is to engage in Sankirtana Yajna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We have to engage in Sankirtana Yajna. By engaging in Sankirtana Yajna, we can purify ourselves. Otherwise, there is no way of escaping the bad effect of Kali. Kali is so bad, is horrible. It makes a mockery of human intelligence. Kali Yuga, it makes a mockery of human intelligence. Sometimes, if we consider what kind of engagement we are having, we will see that we are having very insignificant and lousy engagement. I was engaged in contracting. I was taking care of air conditioning, plumbing, electrical services. That was my job when I was in Middle East. I used to work. And then we used to make houses for big, rich Arab people. And how to make money. The man will come, he will say something, do like this. Then his first wife will come, she will say, oh, I don't like this, you change it, you do something well. Then second wife will come, she will say, oh, I don't like this, you change it, you do it in a different way. Then his third wife will come, she will say, oh, I don't like this, you do it in a different way. So every time you change, you give a bill to them. The man has so much money, he doesn't care, he pays. This is how we make money. Horrible engagement. Horrible engagement. If we carefully consider the type of engagement people are engaged in Kali Yuga, all from outside everything is glitzy. You get wonderful designation, very nice designation. This project manager, project director, that, this. From outside everything looks very glitzy. But if you scratch the surface and see what you are engaged in, you will find that is useless engagement. Useless engagement. So therefore, it is very important for people of Kali Yuga to engage themselves in chanting the holy name. Very, very important. So that opportunity to chant the holy name, to engage in Sankirtana Yajna by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is available very freely. Because Mahaprabhu knows that in Kali Yuga we have no qualification. We are unqualified people in Kali Yuga. We cannot be given any restriction. If you put too many rules, you will say, oh, not possible. We cannot do it. It is not possible for us to follow very strict rules and regulations. It is not even possible for us to maintain cleanliness. It is just not possible for us. Kali Yuga is so bad. Everything is contaminated. So it's not possible for us to maintain cleanliness. It's not possible for us to maintain very good habits. It's not possible for us to maintain high quality Brahminical culture. Not possible in Kali Yuga. We can try, but very, very difficult. Very difficult. So therefore, Mahaprabhu has given his mercy in the form of the holy name. Nam namakari bahuda nija sarva shaktis tatra arpita niyamita smaranena kalaha. There is no time, there is no place, there is no circumstance, restriction. Anytime we can chant the holy name, any place we can chant the holy name, any moment we can chant the holy name, and anybody can chant the holy name. Dina hina jatachilo, hariname uddharilo. Whether you are Dina or Hina, doesn't matter. Simply you can chant the holy name. Anybody can chant. Any place you can chant. Any moment you can chant. No restriction. No restriction at all. So, we should get attached to this process of chanting the holy name by accepting a bona fide spiritual master. That's the third point which Prabhupada makes in this purport. That in order to make our life successful, because Parīkṣit Maharaj, he is a great man. He saw Krishna even in his mother's womb. He is called Vishnurata, one who is always protected by Vishnu. He accepted a spiritual master. So then what to speak of unfortunate people of Kali Yuga, people like us, so unfortunate people of Kali Yuga. But we think, oh, I can manage. What is spiritual life? The moment you talk about spiritual life, everybody has an opinion about it. Everyone has an opinion. Oh, I know God. Yes, sir. What do you know about God? There's no God. That's what I know about God. Or, I am God. That's what I know about God. Or, who cares whether there's God or not? I have my business. I have to take care. That's what I know about God. Everybody has an opinion. For whatever it is worth in Kali Yuga, the moment you speak about God, everyone has an opinion. But we cannot understand God by such thing. We have to surrender. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti jnanam jnaninas-tattvadarshinaha. We have to surrender to a spiritual master who is Tattvadarshi, who has seen the truth, who has experienced the truth. That's the difference between spiritual master and us. He knows Krishna, we don't know Krishna. He is talking from position of knowledge. We are trying to understand from position of ignorance. That's why sometimes it's very difficult to understand what Prabhupada says. Because Prabhupada knows Krishna, we don't know Krishna. Shastra knows Krishna, we don't know Krishna. So sometimes we see some controversy, or sometimes which looks like controversial to us. Then we say, this is not matching. Not logically matching. But what logic we can apply when we don't know Krishna? Give a simple example. Like, let us consider that somebody, he doesn't know what is a chair. He only has knowledge that chair is meant for sitting. Somebody taught him, chair is meant for sitting. But he has never seen a chair. He doesn't know what is a chair. Then somebody else comes and tells him, I used a chair to change a bulb. Then what that fellow will say? Nonsense. How can you use chair to change a bulb? Chair is meant for sitting. It's not meant for changing a bulb. But one who knows a chair, he knows the chair is meant for sitting, but it also can be used to change a bulb. So this is the difference between Prabhupada and us. Prabhupada knows Krishna. We don't know Krishna. So when Prabhupada says something about Krishna, sometimes we understand, sometimes we don't understand. Then we say, what is this? What is this? How can it be possible? How can it be possible? How can it be possible that demigods are there? How can it be possible that they can become visible to us? How it is possible? Why they are not visible now? So many questions we want to ask. But the way to understand the answer is to become submissive to bona fide spiritual master. To accept that he knows and we don't know. That's where we start. That's the point we start. That my spiritual master knows and I don't know. If we think that he also knows, I also know, then we cannot make progress. We cannot learn. That's why pariprashnena sevaya is very important to serve. Very important to serve. If there is no mentality to serve, then it's very, very difficult. Very difficult. It's very difficult. Because in Kali Yuga, we have by nature enjoying mentality. It's naturally there. Not only in Kali Yuga, any Yuga. Conditioned soul means the mentality to enjoy is prominently there. Is that it doesn't have to be, we don't have to acquire that. We have already acquired it. We have already acquired the mentality to enjoy. And for time immemorial, we are trying to enjoy. We are trying our best how to enjoy. This body, that body, this body, change from this body to change from that body, try to enjoy in various body. And still Maya is giving us hope, telling us, okay, this time is little bad, next time it will be good. Don't lose hope. Next body is going to be very nice. next body is going to be very good, excellent. You get excellent body. So, we have this mentality to enjoy. But we have to change this mentality, and then we should change the mentality from enjoying to serving. Very difficult, very, very difficult, because this mentality to enjoy has been ingrained in our mind. So, in order to serve, then we require someone whom we can respect, whom we can look up to, who attracts us. Oh, this person, he's the right person, I can serve him. Attracts us. So, that's a spiritual master, because he doesn't need anything from us. He doesn't need anything from us. And we cannot also give anything to him. Even if I think I can give something to my spiritual master, I cannot give. Whatever I give will remain insignificant. Whatever I try to give, always it will remain insignificant. Even if I think, okay, I will give my life to my spiritual master, still it will remain insignificant. Because this life was made by the spiritual master. Otherwise, I was going to hell. Everyone is candidate to hell. So what we can give to a person who doesn't want anything? What we can give to a person, even if we give ourselves, it still remains insufficient. So that person, when we see such person, then naturally that mentality to serve is instilled, and our spiritual journey starts. So therefore, it's very important for everyone not only to accept a spiritual master. Accepting a spiritual master is not some social symbol or some kind of formality. In India, sometimes they say, "Maine guru bana liya," that I have made my guru. Sometimes they say like this, because it is more like a ritualistic thing. You go to some guru, you tell him, you give him some dakshina, and then he gives you some mantra, and he says, okay, now you are my disciple. And then what? And then what? Then what? Okay, you go enjoy life. So, maine guru bana liya. I have made my guru. I have guru. Okay, that's not guru. That's not guru. Guru means heavy. He weighs heavily on our consciousness. He tries to point out, hey, you are doing some mistake. It's not correct. Correct yourself. That's guru. And he takes us to Krishna. He takes us to Krishna. So, we should not only accept the spiritual master, but we should also accept the instruction and mood of the spiritual master. Very, very important. That's why whenever we study Prabhupada books, especially when we make systematic study of Prabhupada books, we have a lot of discussion about Prabhupada's mood and mission. What is Prabhupada's mood? What is Prabhupada's mission? We try to understand Prabhupada's mood and mission. Why? Because that is also our mood and mission. We should make it our mood and mission. Whatever is Prabhupada's mood and mission, we should make that also our mood and mission. If we make that as our mood and mission, and if we try to serve the spiritual master with all sincerity, and if we engage in Sankirtana Yajna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. If we engage ourselves in Sankirtana Yajna, just like by the influence of Mahārāja Parīkṣit, all the demigods became visible to the common man. Like that, by the influence of Prabhupada, by the influence of our spiritual master, Krishna will become visible to us. One day. One day, Krishna will become visible to us. That's the hope. We should have that hope. Okay, we'll stop here. Any questions, comments? Yes, Suji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for nice class. In context of Kali Yuga engagement, as you said, there is a Srila Prabhupada quote. Every day it comes. I just remember one quote is that the best category of the people is the lazy, intelligent people, and the worst category is the busy fool. So what does it mean, lazy, intelligent people? What that Prabhupada told the best category, lazy, intelligent people?
Devotees are lazy, intelligent. They don't work like karmis. Like Prabhupada says in one Upanishad lecture, Prabhupada says that we have, he says he had taken an apartment in, I forgot the place and things like that. So he's saying that we have taken this apartment in this city and then we have to pay monthly so much dollars. But we are all happy. So people outside, they are so surprised. How these Hare Krishnas, they have to pay so much money, they are eating so much. They are not working like this, they are so happy. But we are surprised. Why these fools are so busy just to eat and sleep? Why these fools are so busy? We are surprised. So devotees are lazy, intelligent. They are lazy in material life, but they are very intelligent how to apply themselves in spiritual life. Okay. But non-devotees are busy fools. They are very busy in material life. But they don't know that all that busyness they are having 24 hours, like Prabhupada says in Upanishad Purport, if you go and approach these two men in the form of two-legged animal and tell him, sir, can you please read Upanishad? He says, no, I have no time. Why he has no time? Because he is busy fool. He is busy, but he doesn't know that his engagement is not going to lead him anywhere, only to hell. There is a nice conversation between Yamadutas and Vishnudutas in 6th canto. And the Vishnuduta asking Yamadutas that who are the candidates to go to hell? Very important question. They are asking who are the candidates to go to hell. Then the Yamadutas are giving elaborate answer. But the purport of that answer is everyone is the candidate to go to hell. That is the purport to answer. So they are saying every person has to go to hell. Nobody can escape hell. Of course, they are also wrong. They don't know that Ajamila, he chanted the name of Narayana. He said, Narayana! Only once. And that relieved him of all the sins, that he doesn't have to go to hell. Anyway, but the point is that other than the devotees, everyone is a candidate to go to hell. We have to understand. So they are busy fools. So lazy, intelligent and busy fool. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Prabhu, here this verse says 3 horse sacrifices were done by Parīkṣit Maharaj, that too under the guidance of Kṛpācārya. But for Dvapara Yuga, the main process was Archanam. So I would like to request you to kindly tell something on this, and the continuation of this question will be, like in Kali Yuga, although you have to chant Hare Krishna, that is the Taraka mantra, for what is the social condition in other ages? Even though you have to do Archan in Dvapar Yuga, other forms also were prevalent? What is the understanding?
Yeah, see, the point is that Jiva Goswami explains that chanting of the holy name, it is there in all yugas. Okay, it's not that it's only there in Kali Yuga. Okay, chanting of the holy name is in all yugas. It's not only in Kali Yuga. That is the way for self-realization. Chanting of the holy name is the way for self-realization in all the yugas. The only thing is that in each yuga, who can chant the holy name becomes progressively complicated. Like in Kali Yuga, everybody can chant the holy name, right? But if you go to Dvapara Yuga, not everybody can chant the holy name. Those who are qualified, who are doing yajna, who are doing archana, they are the ones who are qualified to chant the holy name. If you go to Treta Yuga, then again, the very highly qualified brahmanas, they are there, they are ritvijas, they are doing different type of sacrifice, they are chanting the holy name. And then if you go to Satya Yuga, then Hamsas, who have done long meditation, who have purified their heart completely, after that they have to chant the holy name. So the point is that it's not that in Satya Yuga they are doing something else, and in Treta Yuga they are doing something else, in Dvapara Yuga they are doing something else. In all yugas they are only chanting the holy name. Like for example, after all the purification, what they have to do, like in Dhruva is told, all go through all purificatory process. But what you have to do? You have to chant the mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. What is that? Holy name. Then in Treta Yuga, they are doing different sacrifices and they are doing Om Keshavaya Swaha, Om Narayana Swaha, Om Madhavaya Swaha. What is that? Holy name. And in Dwapara Yuga, they are doing Archana process. While doing Archana, what we are doing? Krishna Stotra, Nrsimha Stotra. What is that? Holy name. So, ultimately, in every Yuga, the process which delivers transcendence is the holy name. But in each Yuga, the qualification to chant the holy name is increasingly becoming difficult. In Kali Yuga, there is no difficulty. Everything has been removed. All the difficulty has been removed. All the extra processes around chanting the holy name has been removed. So that's why Mahaprabhu is saying, or Prabhupada is saying, that we cannot estimate our good fortune. We cannot estimate our good fortune. We are thinking, hey, what is there? This ISKCON people, they are always giving card, telling them chant holy name, chant holy name. Just because it is available easily, we should not think the process of chanting the holy name is very cheap. That's one thing. All process will be available in each Yuga. But the point is that, like for example, yoga. Now people are also doing yoga, right? It's Satya Yuga process. But in Kali Yuga also they are doing yoga, right? But the yoga we are doing now is more like a joke than a serious yoga. The most serious yoga which is done in Kali Yuga is like a joke if compared to the yoga process of Satya Yuga. But the process is there. So same way, we also have Archana process. We also have some Yajna process. So the processes are there. But as the Yuga goes, they get more and more diluted. And for the particular Yuga, the particular process becomes powerful. It's not that it is not there in the other Yugas. It's there, but they become more and more diluted. So can you give to him?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, like as you said, or it's a reality, and in all scriptures says like Krishna, like Prabhupada and our this bona fide Guru knows Krishna best, and his instructions, their instructions are best for us also. So, but how to develop that faith? Because we take them as a common man, like because it is very like difficult to like accept that. Yes,
you develop that faith by association, by associating with them, by hearing them. You start by hearing them. So you hear a person, then you understand what he speaks. Then you observe him, that whether there is parity between what he speaks and how he behaves. Like somebody may speak very nicely, but his behavior may be very bad. So if you, after hearing him, if you observe his behavior, then you can easily see this fellow is simply talker, he is not a walker. He doesn't walk his talk. So that means he is not some very significant person. A person who simply speaks very nicely but doesn't behave according to his speech is not a very nice person. Okay, maybe devotee, can accept him, okay, he is also devotee. You can serve him, but he is not someone to be associated and followed. But when you hear the spiritual master, and then when you see him behave, then you will see that there is no difference between what he speaks and how he behaves. By that process, you get attracted to him. In third canto, Maitreya and Vidura are speaking. So, Vidura says that Maitreya explains some very critical concepts to Vidura, because Vidura is asking those questions about the position of the Supreme Lord, the suffering of the jiva, the position of the material energy. All these things he is asking. And Maitreya is very nicely explaining to Vidura. And Vidura says, I have heard all this from you, but in order to realize this, I have to serve your lotus feet. So, without serving the lotus feet of the spiritual master, you cannot develop attachment to the lotus feet. That's why the initial process is Vaidhi Bhakti. Whether you like or not, you just do it because that's the right thing to do. You don't care whether you are attached or not attached. You know that this is the right thing to do. So therefore, you do it. That this is the right thing to do, I have to do it, I am going to do it. But when you follow that process, then you get attached. That's how it works.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for your good lecture. I wanted to request you, today we heard, if you like, today also the appearance day of Ramanuja Acharya ji. So if you feel that you want to say a couple of lines, you can if you like.
Okay, thank you. So, Ramanuja is the, we can say, he is the first stalwart preacher. That way, we can say that after Narada, when the line of comes, that the stalwart preacher is Ramanuja. Ramanuja had his Mayavadi guru. His Mayavadi guru, once he was giving lecture in Kanchipuram, and he compared the pinkness of the eyes of the Lord to the backside of a monkey. His Mayavadi guru. And Ramanuja could not tolerate that. And he was shedding tears, and his tears were burning his skin. He was so hot tears he was shedding. It became so intolerable. Even though it is not the position of a disciple to chastise the guru, Ramanuja immediately got up and then he asked his guru, why are you doing this? Why are you talking like this? Why are you doing this to the Lord? He became so disturbed. And he vowed that he will defeat this impersonalism. He will defeat impersonalism. He has many gurus. He has many gurus, Ramanuja. And one of the gurus is Yamunacharya. So, but Ramanuja never met Yamunacharya. But Yamunacharya was waiting for Ramanuja. By the time Ramanuja went to meet Yamunacharya, Yamunacharya already left his body. So then, but his 3 fingers were open. Yamunacharya's 3 fingers were open. Then Ramanuja took 3 vows in front of Yamunacharya, and as he took those vows, his fingers closed one by one. First of all, Ramanuja took a vow that he will write a commentary to Vedanta Sutra to defeat the Sharirika Bhashya commentary of Shankaracharya. Then he said he will travel and he will spread Vaishnavism all over India. And third point, he said that through his disciples, he will have worthy sons and he will name them behind Parasara and Vyasa. And they will become the carriers of the message of Vaishnavism. All the 3 Ramanuja achieved. He is a very big preacher, he is a stalwart preacher. That he had another guru, and he went to him 18 times to that guru to explain the meaning of Om Namo Narayanaya. 18 times he went. He used to cross Kaveri and then go 18 times. And every time he goes to him, Guru will tell, no, this is not the time, you come back later. By that time, already Ramanuja was an established Vaishnava preacher, he was an established guru. But still, his spiritual master used to turn him back. 18 times he turned him back. 18th time he told him, I will explain this meaning to you. It is the greatest secret. You should not tell anybody. If you tell this to anybody, you will go to hell. Then he explained the meaning of Om Namo Narayanaya. And Ramanuja listened very attentively and he understood everything. And that place is called Tirukoshtiyur. And in Tirukoshtiyur, there is a huge temple. After hearing the explanation, Ramanuja, he climbed the temple tower and then he told, call everybody, call everyone, whoever is there, call everyone. I will tell them the way to go to Vaikunta. Call everybody. Huge crowd came in front and then publicly he gave class on the meaning of the mantra Om Namo Narayanaya, establishing that Narayana is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Vaikunta is there. Pure devotional service is the only purpose of human life. And his guru was so angry with him. He said, I told you this big secret. If you explain this, you will go to hell. Why did you do this? And Ramanuja told him, I don't mind. I will go and rot eternally in hell. So many people will go to Vaikuntha. For this purpose, I am ready to go and eternally rot in hell. And his guru became his disciple. Tirukoshtiyu Dambi, at the same moment, surrendered to Ramanuja. And then he said, please accept me as your disciple. Stalwart preacher. Stalwart preacher. One of the greatest preacher this Bharata Bhumi has produced in Vaishnavism. He was a great fighter in fighting against Shankara's influence. Very, very great personality. Because he's not a small person. He's Anantashesh. He's Anantashesh. He's an expansion of Anantashesh. He's an expansion of Lakshmana. He's a very, very interesting. Anyway, we don't have time. Okay, we'll stop here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Ramanujacharya ki, Gaur Premanande.